Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking as an update on Gevo. You're going to find my previous TD in the description below, as well as my playlist for educational purposes on how to read charts in case you not catching up with some of the technical analysis I'm doing today. I'm going to go through technical analysis and then I'm going to go through latest news and what I think about this company and how it's going to trade. Now, please make sure to drop a like to this video to help the algorithms and make the channel grow. Subscribe and leave your notifications on to get the latest out of these videos. So let's jump right into it. We get to see on the MACD here a bit of a jump. It seems that the maximum of the jump was around on the 25th in terms of the MACD alone on the histogram. And you get to see that that's actually coming in towards a decline. And that's a second day in a row where we see a decline on the MACD. Now, on the balanced volume, unbalanced volume has been declining quite a little. It's being tested right now, having almost the same levels as on the 21st. On the ADX, it does show 34, and that is basically an indication of a very strong trend. Now, the current trend that we see is negative, so that's not a good sign. Willing percent R is sitting a little bit around neutral, going in towards the oversold, but it seems that the trend is people are selling rather than buying. And you get to see in terms of momentum here, the stock has basically very much the same shape as the unbalanced volume and the willing percent R. You get to see that it's basically seeing the exact same things as what happened on the 21st. Now, the 21st was the result of an offering, but it did see more of a panic selling that has occurred. Now, the stock is on the moving averages here is a bit bullish, except to the 200 SMA, which is in blue, that the stock price has dipped below. The 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA and the stock price is above the 50 SMA, so that is bullish. Now, the stock trading action zone is between the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA, which is the line in green and red here. And if it does dip just a little bit below, it has a high chance of a reversal, and that's what the trading action zone is about. So it looks pretty alright from here on. Now, on the 1 hour perspective, things look a little bit different in terms of the moving averages. Now, yes, the stock is above the 200 SMA, which makes it bullish, but the stock price has dipped below the 50 SMA in purple, and that was on the 25th. 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA. Again, that change happened on the 25th, and that makes it bearish. Now, on the ADX, what we get to see here is that the stock shows in a very strong trend. That trend is, though, negative at this current point. On the willing percent R, it really isn't showing much. It's really more around neutral. It did go from oversold to overbought, so I'm just going to pause on and say it's neutral. On the momentum here, you get to see it's been trading sideways. Nothing significant off here. On the MACD, it seems to be very much the same thing, but it seems to be really more trading on towards the negative lately. This is a 2-day negative event that has happened already. And you get to see a better picture here on the moving averages, as I did say. On the moving average band here, it's expected for this stock to trade between 73 cents and 88 cents, and in the middle, 81. Now, it did trade for quite a bit within the moving averages, but with this massive jump and really good contract, you get to see that moving average is yet to kind of catch up with the price, and that kind of needs to stabilize. Now, for instance here, we get to see a bit of the 1 hour perspective. So we're going to do quickly here is trying to identify Fibonacci retracement supports and resistances. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra support or resistance by putting in 161.8 on there. So the significant support at the current moment is $1.05. Significant resistance is $1.17 on the Fibonacci retracements. Above that, $1.35. Below that, 92 cents. Now, let's try to identify significant supports and resistances. Significant support at this moment is $1.04. And then right below that is $1. And why I say $1 is this company does not have compliance yet from the last time I checked. It needs 10 days above $1 to close above $1. That's 1. That's 2. That is 3. That is 4. That is 5. 6. We need 4 more days for compliance. Now, tomorrow is a Friday, and that's usually a sell-off zone. Hopefully, it has 9 cents to kind of cover on there. But if it does, that's good news. Now, closer to that compliance, what you're going to be expecting is people hyping it up. You know, stock is going to reach compliance. Hooray! You're going to start seeing a bit of a above action. Now, once it reaches compliance, they're all going to sell. So we got to be careful with that. There's going to be a dip there. and that's if it reaches compliance. Hopefully it does. Now, on in terms of significant supports, yeah, I said $1.05. And then significant resistances is $1.17. That's a very important one. And then right above there, $1.27. Right above there, $1.36, $1.42, and then $1.52, 58, and then $1.60. Once you cross the $1.60, start hitting into $1.73, and you start seeing a massive jump over there. Now we can go back and look into the 1 year, 1 day perspective, try to determine the supports and resistances. But basically, as you can get to see, it has covered that area. Unless we're going way above, we can address that once this price, or if this price does jump above $2. Now, towards the latest news here, we got the 8K form. The latest news on this one is the offering. So this 8K form is financial exhibits. This is related to as well the offering. The offering was around $1.30 in value. Let's double confirm that. Yep, $1.30. Offering is already closed, by the way. It increased shares by around 22 million. Now the total number of shares for this company is, well, here, let's just double check it quickly. Oh, that is the wrong file. All right, so the number of shares has been added 22 million shares. Quickly here we get to see that the current outstanding shares, that is not even given here. I'll check it later on through Yahoo Finances or through my portal, but it's not a significant increase per se from what I've seen earlier. Now the interesting thing here is the institutional ownership, and I'm not sure exactly whether my portal is wrong here, but the last 13G seems to be on the 12th of February of 2019. Before that, it's 2016, and I don't see any significant institutional purchases, no 13Fs in funding. That means a lot of companies have not purchased a substantial amount that would be considered in need of reporting by SEC. That's a little bit concerning for me. Why aren't institutional values interested in it? Now, moving on, there was a presentation for this one, and they did mention basically some of their current partners. So Lufthansa is a big one here, FedEx. I get to recognize a few of them as well. So that is significant. And we're talking about 1.5 billion contract. That I did mention that in my last video. I know someone is commenting that already. But basically, yeah, they have a 1.5 billion in long-term annual revenue. That's what it says. It says annual on there. Get it right now. I did see somewhere it did say 1.5 billion revenue annual, but here it says 1.5 billion of revenue long-term contracts. So unless probably was more of an article, so it's 1.5 billion in long-term revenues. And basically this opens up a gate for more clients. And one of the biggest things that you would read in their presentation, and if you go on through the webinar, you can find it here, you can go through it, is that a lot of it is trying to show their customers that their technology works and biofuel works. And by giving that contract with a massive contract, it really opens that kind of gate. So how would I play the stock and what I think the future of the stock? So for this stock here, I do think there is significant moves for this one. It has a lot of future. Now, in the short term, and I'm saying this and I gotta really emphasize on in the short term, I do see the stock to fall a little bit behind, to bleed without a PR. Not for anything, but it's seen a massive jump all at once. You're talking about from 50 cents to $1.20, let's say, yeah, $2. We're talking about a 400% increase. And that is quite significant for a stock to jump in overnight. So you do expect that this one does a little bit get closer towards the 80, 70 cents range. Within the next PR, I can see a jump. And why am I saying this one here? Well, I have something in mind right off the bat, but this one here, this stock, Gene, what they've done was something a little bit different. They halted the stock for a few days. I think it was one fall on 15th and then 20th because they did fall in with an offering. Their price was around $2.35, increased it by $10 to $10, almost very closely around 400%, just above there, and then this price kind of dipped down and then increased, and then you get to see it bled down and starts accumulating. And I think that Gevo will follow a little bit of a similar move without PR. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day. But before forgetting, please make sure to add in the comments below, what do you think about this channel? What would you like to see changed? I'm always here to take in your advice. Thank you and have a good day.